Hi everybody, I'm here like usual. I sure love mediocre movies. If only there was a way to end them on a mediocre note. Oh, there we go. Ah, yep, the dance party ending. A type of ending prominent in a lot of movies is a way to put the story to an end in a fun way where the characters are together and celebrating something like beating the big conflict or killing the bad guy, stuff like that. Recently-ish, there was this dance party ending meme fairly prominent on Instagram and TikTok, making fun of the trope just for how often it shows up, especially when the film's suited for a younger audience. Now, even though there's a lot, and I mean a lot of examples of dance party endings, there is one company in specific that's responsible for a good chunk of the animated ones throughout the years. Dreamworks, in my eyes, has always stood as the backbone of this trope. Its movies, despite how popular they are, never seem to go more than a couple of them without chucking in one of these after, like, a couple movies. To be fair, a lot of their movies totally fit in a perfect way to warrant these extravagant dance numbers to top off their films, good and bad. Although literally every animation studio has implemented this to some capacity, although it's managed to infect live action projects, Dreamworks deserves this recognition. So with that being said, out of a dozen animated films, I counted 21 instances, including a dance party ending. Things that determined my selection and ranking included the song choice, choreography, and justification for fitting in the movie, what made it stick, stuff like that. And friendly reminder, this is my opinion, no need to be mean, treat others how you want to be treated. So with that being said, fellas, I think I feel a song coming on. I think I feel a song coming.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Oh wow, one of the worst Dreamworks projects also has one of the worst dances? That's crazy. I can't say much that wouldn't just mirror Shea Frillis Productions' thoughts on the movie. All I could contribute is that the character of Arthur feels like an OC. Like in every shot, they stick out in the corner. This feels like a fan fiction where a local high school boy destined to be king is needed by Shrek. Tell me this movie doesn't tonally feel exactly like a shitty fan fiction. Shrek's main journey is not being ready to be a father, so by this point you're already disgusted by the standards of the movie. Shrek is known for yucky gross out. Babies generate that. The movie ends with a gross baby montage being laughed off, and then credits are met with another gross baby montage on the screen. Like, I do not care. Get these baby ogres off my screen. They aren't marketable. Stop using them. There's a fine line between dance parties that take place before and during the credits. You have to be pulling some crazy antics if you want dances during the credit rolls to stick with the viewers, but instead, it's just more babies. I do not care about these creatures. I want to stop watching the movie, but I just can't. To an extent, this is meant to be inspired by the first two endings, where Donkey and then in the second movie, Puss deliver a stunning number that both we'll get to later. And here it feels like they just had extra money in the budget for doing something fun. The song here is Thank You by the band of Falintinimi Elf. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's that song that goes like, thank you for letting me be myself. It's that one. Which, might I add, it isn't really a good one that fits this ending. To be fair, most of the music choices in this one weren't the greatest choices, though it feels like something that was just added to be added. Maybe if the movie was about Arthur being appreciated for what skills he has instead of stepping up to the occasion, this could have been used, but still, a weak ending to the weakest of Shreks. This is the only Shrek movie that fails to properly implement a sort of ending appropriate for a dance party ending. Like having the worst dance party ending in the entire catalog of Dreamworks be a Shrek movie feels baffling. This is a stupid movie where Doris was the only good part. It's ridiculous.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Now, one of the weirder things about making this ranking has to be watching the ones I never really had interest or the chance to watch. To be fair, I watched like the last several I missed on entirely, and this movie was in fact a movie. Spirit Untamed is a sequel to a movie that never needed one to begin with. How marketable is this horse? It doesn't feel like a horse should be pushed this hard. Here we are. Spirit is for the horse girls, it seems. This one's kind of basic though. It's basically just the main kid's dad singing a song at the very end. Nothing harmful, but extremely basic. There's no sauce to this one. It gives the same vibes of a 5th grade talent show where there might be one impressive thing about it, but the rest of it is just misses or mediocre. I really think this was only implemented as a way to further the TV show that has 8 seasons somehow? Is the Spirit community really that big? Are you a Spirit head, dear viewer? Wait, what am I saying? This is a pillar of horse girls. This barely counts. I almost didn't even put it on the ranking. It's that forgettable.
I think I feel a song coming on.
In a sense, the final dance of Shark Tale feels pretty elegantly encapsulates everything wrong with this movie. It feels artificial, it feels unearned. When I see these characters dancing, I can't help but feel some sort of secondhand embarrassment because it feels aimless as Shark Tale as a whole. The song used is Rose Royce's Car Wash. Makes sense since the ending takes place at a whale wash, their car wash equivalent. It's fine, not really good or bad, just seems weird to be having this extravagant opening day for a car wash. It's just a weird, strange car wash party, but nonetheless, nonetheless, it has some fun to it. In the most insulting way possible, it ends up being like the rest of these endings, where it represents the movie it stands for. And here it is ugly, it's excessive, it's fairly unpleasing, but damn it was made with so much ironic love as a Will Smith movie can handle. But the lighting in this movie still pisses me off. I don't like looking at it. Why do the turtles look like that?
I think I feel a song coming on.
Do we count this? Yeah, we count this. Ruby Gilman is in fact a movie. It is one that exists and has characters, and I think this counts as an art style. And you know what? It's okay. I just don't think much of an effort was made by Dreamworks or the consumers to make this one hit, nor do I think it is warranted, because I mean, look at the humans. They look kind of scary in this one. The song here is Praise You by Fatboy Slim and Rearranged, now sung by Rita Ora. For a dance party ending, they lucked out. A perfect layup to a pretty unsatisfying ending. The inciting incident of this movie sees Ruby upset she can't go to her prom at sea event, which is totally stupid because the mom doesn't want her kid going near the ocean, but then why would you live by the ocean and then forbid her from being there? Maybe you should have moved away from the ocean, but whatever. All right, that's on you. But in the end, she gets to prom, has a dance party ending. It's about exciting as prom can get. You know, it's one of those things that you go to, something that's hyped up, and then as you get older, you realize this is what happens when parents and teachers have to orchestrate any sort of party for kids. It's fine, it's safe, there's Kool-Aid and Sprite in the back. So yeah, I mean, the party aspect is technically there, but I guess nothing really special lays here. It's a high school party. We can move on. This is a movie that exists and is a movie that I think it failed in the box office, actually.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Home is the proud beacon of the most nothing ending imaginable. It runs all the expectations of a dance party ending. You get an epilogue situation for all the characters that need it. You have a villain getting what they deserved, good or bad in this instance. You have the gag characters created for gags doing their gags while dancing. And of course, the more grumpy or straight man hitting the, oh, what the heck, and losing themselves to the music. The dancing itself is fine. The rest is where it falls apart. Like, the premise of Home is that the little main alien guy, O, accidentally invites a world destroyer of worlds, to destroy Earth. That's gonna kill everyone. It's a fairly basic movie where a big chunk of the marketing relied on Rihanna being the main character and main voice and responsible for almost all the music, if not all of it. So yeah, obviously Rihanna's gonna be the ending song. That makes sense. Though at this point, after hearing like 10 other of her songs in this movie, the one that's supposed to be a closer kind of blends in with the rest. I don't know how big the overlap is between people overanalyzing children's media and Rihanna fans, but I'm assuming not that much. It's just that when it comes to an artist being the sole producer in a specific movie, you have this challenge where you need to make every song sound different because it's trying to be age appropriate. When they want to have more mature or different songs, it doesn't end up working. I hope that makes sense. It's just overall unsatisfying to deal with. Mostly in part of me overthinking it and not really having narrative sense. It starts with a 2 weeks later thing, undoubtedly the worst possible way you could have set up this ending. Like, you mean to tell me that the planet of Earth within 2 weeks has integrated and accepted this alien species into their livelihoods and normalized their culture? I hate to say it, but it takes one to know one. We aren't capable of such a thing. There's very possibly a war before ever iconic Rihanna apartment dance party endings. Looking forward to the point where kids grow up with this movie and start learning about editing and video production and start defending this one as an underrated hit, a cinematic masterpiece. It's hard to say it has or hasn't already begun. I'm scared.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Here we go. The first of the Madagascars to show up. Now, as we're gonna see, the lovely little lemur king may or may not have created a song that has forever impacted the legacy of this franchise. In the first movie, he makes his first appearance singing reel-to-reel song, I Like to Move It, this being his legacy. King Julian is now burdened with moving it. So as is appropriate, all three of the trilogy used this song with remixes in the later two. This one being the worst in presentation and in music. In an attempt to create a second song trend, we have Marty's ever iconic bit of Afro Circus, where he dances and does the clown theme, and he goes like da 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 Afro Circus, haha, clowns, that's the joke. The point is, I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It pretty much encapsulates the ending of this franchise with all the characters dancing. The clown, that flying thing is fun. It works, but that's just kind of it. If this is meant to be a farewell to most of these characters in their cinematic lives, I wish we had something of more substance instead of just doubling down on the circus theming that was okay, but totally could have gone to something else, somewhere else. Just a quick and cool version of the song that just so happens to be kind of whatever.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Puss in Boots has possibly the most forgettable ending of the catalog. I completely suppressed the majority of this one. I was horrified when the little hogs were all jumping in rhythm in this scarily hypnotizing motion over and over. This is the best part of this one. The song here is fine enough for the theming here. Lady Gaga's Americano, fun choice, one that encapsulates Puss in Boots better than the blunt aggression of Shrek. This is a good choice that fits in what makes Puss in Boots' portion of the world stand out in comparison to that of Shrek. I can't complain about that here. I will say, this is less dance party ending and more of a way to get some extra animation and a bit more of the characters I mentally blocked out, and thanks to the significantly better sequel. The only reason I remember it is being confused on if Humpty Dumpty was reborn in the end, if that's the implication. I think it is. I never quite got that because he dies here and then he comes back, and then right after you have Jack and Jill after their events. It's just an odd choice. It makes me debate if he comes back to life or not, if that is the assumption, if that's what we're supposed to believe in. I guess while we're at it, this ending pretty much instantly gets obliterated by the opening of The Last Wish. Though your highlight is the synchronized piggies, you shouldn't be shocked. Obviously, this is about dance party endings though, so the opener of Last Wish is not allowed, though I'll let you guys know where I'd put it. Overall, an appropriate song that gets held back by the choreography and justification for being here in the plot. Not much else to add, and I stand behind that.
I think I feel a song coming on.
This has to be one of the most inconsistent dance party endings of the entire lineup, if not in film in general. Over the Hedge is a very solid movie, and if there's one thing it does right, I would have to say its choices in music. Every song choice fits the movie relatively well, if not extremely well. There is a consistently good selection of songs used throughout the movies, and the only way this dance party ending could have been better if the presentation was just something. It being locked to the hedge background is characters that appear in and out, most of which not even dancing, tragically makes it a weak dance party. Now, if we're talking choices in music, the choice of Rocking the Suburbs was a fun one. Over the Hedge is about them frolicking in the suburbs. They are rocking the suburbs. This works. Plus, it blends in with the entire movie. It's a good pick. I also really like how when the great wall of text makes its way across the screen, the characters are doing corresponding things related to it. For example, when there's lighting, the characters have no textures or anything and then gain it during like a cute little transition. I really like this. I like how the fishing rod pulls up the text to begin with. This is great. It reminds me that this is based on a comic strip. By the way, did you know that? Did you know that Over the Hedge was based off of a book? I genuinely completely had no idea about that. I kind of wish the comic was implemented more in the final movie. But in terms of negatives, again, missing any real instance of dancing. There's only a couple seconds and a couple scenes of characters getting funky with it. The hedge walls are kind of unpleasant to look at for an extended period, but to be fair, you can say that about suburbia as a whole. I almost wish this could have been reformed to a celebration among the animals or something, not just restricted to the credits. Seeing all the animals have fun with all the human items they've stolen would have been a good way to top off the ending. I could have seen this one going higher if it was done a little bit nicer. That way you would have been able to chuck in the expectations of a dance party ending and then cut to the credit roll thing where they keep the cutesy bits with the wall of text on the hedge. It's a good pick. It had potential, but it also could have been much worse, and I appreciate it for what it is.
I think I feel a song coming on.
I do like to move it. I really do, I promise. Madagascar 1, very basic, dancing over a black background that with a generic tropical design font, you would see it like a Kalahari resort or a rainforest cafe. But there's just something weirdly hypnotizing about it all. I can't describe it, but something about seeing Mort kill it in the black void, the penguins doing their silly little dance, but the queen of it all, Gloria. This in specific just feels really shitposty. There's a couple of seconds where Gloria is just bouncing. She's just like, it has this perfect uncanniness and momentum and motion that I can't even describe. Like, just look at it and tell me that this is normal. It's so uncanny, but it's so funny. By this point, I had already lost my mind, but I'm glad it was presented as weirdly as it was. Seeing all these animated movie credits reminds you of how unappreciated a lot of the production cast remains. The fact a majority of the population refuses to watch credits to thank the people responsible for the thing that they made, so they can only stay if there's like wacky visuals. I don't know, there's just something really funny about it. Thank you, Bouncing Gloria. You have changed my perception on thanking the people responsible for storyboarding.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Megamind has an interesting closer because if we're being real, this one had no purpose of being there. This is a weird dance party ending. In part because there's just not a lot of characters that are in this story. Like most Dreamworks properties that get the honor of a dance party ending have massive ensembles of cast that all together allow for a real celebration of the entire world that's been established. Whereas here, it feels less like that and more like a way for there to just be a last-second epilogue, if anything. And to be fair, this is only for about 45 seconds until the credits roll. The only part that feels remotely dance party-esque has to be the penis music part, because that's the only part that has odd character choices celebrate the conclusion of the story. That and Metro Man showing up to support his blue bud. I just couldn't think of a perfect ending and went with this. Fun little dance number that has just enough going on, very on tone for Megamind's character. Not a bad scene, just I think it could have been visioned a bit stronger or with more substance. And as for the song, I mean, it's MJ's I'm Bad. This is about a bad guy's redemption. It's a good pick, it's a good choice, good job.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Oh, it's Trolls, another entry that completely makes sense to have an ending involving dancing. The entire point of Trolls is that these little creatures like pop music. This franchise has been biologically engineered to be as annoying as possible. But hey, there's a trade-off. The general theming is cute, I love the arts and crafts feel, and these movies only get better with each entry. Now, part of having a pop music themed franchise is you gotta have some good singers, some musicians. The closing song is Justin Timberlake's Can't Stop the Feeling, one that all the characters join in on. It's very fun, everybody is dancing around having a good time. I like how the smiling, giggling characters brutally murder the main villains mid-celebration, but in the end, it was fun. It's safe, don't get me wrong, but there is a vibe here that I can't help but appreciate, and the fact that this is the worst dance party ending of Trolls is a good sign. It makes me glad to know that they get more of a rhythm and go harder from here on.
I think I feel a song coming on.
I really wanted to rank Madagascar 2 higher, but ultimately I didn't have the strength to do it. This one's extremely close to the original movie in terms of music, but has the benefit of being stylized in this really fun and unique way. Like it's this fun puppetry style that correlates with the film taking place in Africa. It thematically makes sense, it is a joy to look at, even though it's in this generic type of credits where they replay key moments of the film in a different style, like the Sonic movies or Wreck-It Ralph. I'd say here at the very least it's appropriate, though I think it only could have been made better with a little more going on. There's a few gaps where not much is happening, and because of that, it doesn't really reflect the movie. Some of these bits feel like they were only included because they were the easiest ones to be made, for example. They were the easiest ones the team could have produced. But I like this. It's very fun, and I do wish more could have been done to revise this and improve it. And as for song, Move It was used again. I mean, I don't know what else you expected. Money is money, game is game.
I think I feel a song coming on.
So Mr. Peabody and Sherman has this really interesting choice in music and presentation, especially compared to everything else. So much, in fact, that I would argue it barely made the cut here. The song is actually an original orchestrated piece composed by Danny Elfman titled Aquarela do Brasil. That is, to an extent, used as a motif when Mr. Peabody solves a major conflict. It's used a couple times in the movie. It's a song that goes It kind of sounds like Coconut Mall to an extent. It's that one. It's been stuck in my head. I love this theme. After all the historic figures return to their respective eras with modern pieces of technology, we see this as an instance of everybody just dicking around with whatever modern technology they could grab or find with their minutes in the modern day. For example, Einstein plays around with a Rubik's Cube and gets an arrangement that's impossible to get on an actual Rubik's Cube. It was rigged from the start for Einstein. Yeah, I mean, it's like a minute long. It hardly has any dancing, mostly just being a set of gags than anything. But it's a short and sweet way to tie off this pretty warm movie.
I think I feel a song coming on.
I remember the first time I saw Trolls World Tour and thought it was the most tedious, annoying film I had seen in a good while. I saw it and remember coming to terms with the idea that I had officially become too old for animation. And reflecting upon that, I don't really agree with that perception anymore, although it would be a lie for me to say that now. I mean, the art form is always evolving to different audiences. It's a medium of presentation before a genre. But a lot of the songs in this one were extravagant, they were colorful, extreme eye candy moments, some which even hurting my eyes. So this movie's ending is actually a little more chilled out and feature all the characters having a few moments doing their silly little gags and dances on screen. It's fun, calm. Song of the day here is Don't Slack, once again by Justin Timberlake, along with Anderson .Paak. It's well paced, each character dances in a way that matches their body types and personal gags. It's really interesting that that this became the one with a better set ending, plus the main gags of main characters from previous movies accidentally missing the dance party ending got a chuckle out of me. It was cute. I like that they add that at the very end with the two, the Grendels or whatever the hell they're called. You get the idea. Though that's also like the biggest plot hole of this movie, though. They could have just asked the big guys to help the little guys, and they Never did though.
I think I feel a song coming on.
All right, I gotta be fast on this one because it literally is that fast. Dogman came out recently and it features a monster showing up and having a party that we see for 10 seconds. It is a 10-second long dance party. It's silly, a bit random. Makes sense when you remember this film is canonically written by George and Harold, who, let me remind you, are elementary level children. This feels like something creative 10-year-olds would come up with as a fun way to end their project. I really enjoyed that. This one is more of a gag than anything. I hesitate to put it further because of that. Like, the music is just techno tunes. The dancing is relevant since it's spur of the moment. It's just here to be here, but it's probably one of the best ways to end this movie. It's terrific.
I think I feel a song coming on.
We have just hit the top 6, and this is the first Shrek movie of value. It's a modernized version of the original dance party ending of Believer. This was meant to be the final chapter of Shrek, so having it come full circle to that initial celebration in the same location feels worth it. It is celebrating the entire franchise. Everybody is here, except for Merlin. All the characters are having a good time, though in my eyes it's a bit weaker for not really having a justified reason for existing. The movie wraps up pretty well with Shrek returning to the birthday party, so I'm conflicted with considering this one as canon even. I just stare at it with this general feeling of confusion as to why we really have this going on here, especially since it's implied to have taken place after the initial party. Also, the ogres that Shrek has only met in the dark timeline are here. How did you guys get here? How do they even know about Shrek or the swamp area? How come we've never seen them and now they're just invited to this fun family-friendly outing since there's babies here? Oh yeah, I remember the babies. They're better here. They're going to be the worst part of Shrek 5. I already feel it.
I think I feel a song coming on.
Kung Fu Panda 3 is a weird one. The only Kung Fu Panda movie to have a dance party or celebration is the third one, being a new version of the first movie song Kung Fu Fighting, this time with all the characters that we have met participating in it. I gotta remove a couple points here because of the amount of Panda Village gags here. I don't like Panda Village. Here we are. More Panda Village. The only thing worse than the fourth movie is Panda Village. I genuinely think the third movie is worse because I don't like Panda Village that much. I always just skip through it. The thought of the latter half of this franchise makes me want to do a hypothetical rewriting of the fourth movie as a video, but nonetheless, my favorite part is what this moment means for Po. First off, they're having this training dance thingy because Po offered to teach everyone the art of chi. They go back to the spot where Po's initial kung fu journey began, and then he stops for a moment. He looks across the family he has formed, his appreciation for everything that has come before it. I'm glad for this moment because it makes you really appreciate and recognize how far this character has come across the trilogy of movies at this point. But with that in mind, it's the only time this franchise has decided to implement one. And it just so happens that they got it down pretty well out of the gate. I kind of hope they don't do it again. I can't imagine any other story in this universe warranting a dance party ending. I honestly prefer how every other movie in this franchise has had a very tame and relaxed ending in comparison.
I think I feel a song coming on.
I'm about to say something I don't think the world is ready to hear. Something that is likely to cause worldwide conflict as a declaration of war. A statement that will let every person of every culture shrivel up and unleash their rage upon me. Shrek 2's dance party ending is only pretty good. Let me explain. Following the climax and defeat of the fairy godmother, the gang are still at the ball, and they decide to celebrate a fiesta initiated by Puss. Now, if I'm being real, the biggest challenges of this one come from what came before it and what actually happens in this dance number. In my eyes, this is closer to a concert rather than like a dance party ending. The audience is more interested on the stage over actually enjoying their time dancing, kind of limiting the amount of fun gags and other nonsense that can be implemented here, which would be fine, except that at the same time, you're supposed to make me believe the audience is cool with letting Shrek and his family dance and then come to the stage unwarranted. I understand that they are the royal family, but they were not invited. That's not proper etiquette. It has bothered me since I was like 6. The song choice is Livin' La Vida Loca, sang by Donkey and Puss, just like how Shrek 3 completely butchered their own movie. The difference here is this song is actually good. Plus, this song feels like it's referring to Fairy Godmother in the lyrics. It's a good choice. My favorite part is the freeze frame at the end because this variant specific is very funny out of nowhere. No, it was not needed at any point in this entire dance, and I just love how everyone feels like they weren't ready for it. In fact, some characters are blinking or mid-jump, so you just get like a frog doing a mid-cartwheel. Why are you doing all that? Good movie, good time. I enjoy. Choopo likes. I like. Choopo approve. It just kind of sucks because I Need a Hero came right before this, and that song is perfect and is it summarizes the movie really well. well. It's very powerful, and it just is, compared to this, it's definitely stronger. If I had to fix anything, I don't really know if there was anything that could be fixed. Maybe the cutaway with Mongo. It feels like it cuts the immersion for a gag that just makes me feel worse about watching the movie. I don't want to see Mongo alive while he's still drowning and slowly dying. It makes me upset to even look at that. Why would you remind me the big nice cookie friend is suffering a slow, painful death in the water and then cut back to the cat and donkey song?
I think I feel a song coming on.
In my eyes, the hottest take of this ranking has to be the ending of Flushed Away. It is able to encapsulate the tone and intent behind the initial story, and it is a very good dance party ending. A more fun and upbeat version of this song, Proud Mary, it's not really the best fit. The main reason it got used, I think, probably comes from the river aspect, the Flushed Away aspect, a lot of water travel. It's not necessarily the greatest fit. The main reason I think it got used is probably the fact that Proud Mary refers to rolling in the river. Flushed away, you're going through the sewers. General theme of sailing across water, that is my thought. Within these last few moments, there's a lot of appreciation and celebration of this world before we leave it behind. There's a good level of dancing. A bunch of the side characters and one-off characters have fun inclusion. I like the two evil rats, especially the albino one. I forgot what they were called. Zach and Tomar. Yeah, they have a good end here. Very slapsticky. I'm serious. It does everything you could have asked for in a dance party ending. It fits with everything going on. Though it feels like there's something that's holding it back a little bit. The slugs! The slugs! Why are the slugs here? Who gives a shit about them? I don't know. I don't even care. They serve their purpose. I'm glad they have zero popular relevancy after this movie. It makes me really happy to know and remember, like what were they thinking here? It makes me really happy to remember and know that they are completely just infamous creatures. I don't like the slugs. I just don't get it. Why are they here? I want to drop one into a pot of salt just to see what would happen.
I think I feel a song coming on.
I have no idea how a Trolls movie managed to get up this high. Trolls Band Together is somehow not only a pretty solid movie with a decent amount of funny moments, but it manages to lead to a very strong dance party ending. Now this one's meant to be more of a concert like Shrek 2, but this time, Branch, the main singer, deliberately invites people to the stage. So yeah, that's on Shrek. He was rude and he welcomed himself. I don't care if they are friends. He needs to know. He needs to have respect to Donkey and Puss. They are doing an important thing. Gotta compare the two a bit more, but the stage is the only point of attention in this ending. In Shrek 2, you're also meant to focus on the extra characters dancing and doing their own things, whereas this one has the benefit of only looking at the most important characters who all eventually make their way to the stage. This movie's about Branch finding his brothers and getting his band family back together, of all 5 of them who were just in like a boy band. They do that and they have a deserved celebration, but as a fun bonus, because Branch is voiced by Justin Timberlake, all of NSYNC shows up for a bonus cameo, though there's a point in the number where they just like magically vanish. This has always confused me. Where did NSYNC go? Are they okay? Why is this a thing that happens in the story? This is the first and only time multiple songs are implemented in the ending. We have Blend Together and Family, both of which made for the movie and both of which made good additions. The majority of choreography here feels pretty typical boy bandish, but it's cool. I'm hip and cool, and I support the Timbered Lakes. He might have done some stuff I don't agree with. I actually don't really know about Timberlake. I don't really know what he does. I hope he's not problematic. It feels less like a party and more just like the initial intention of the movie. It's mostly the band working together to get something to do a specific thing at the end. So for that, I really do enjoy it overall for the purpose of being the thing to reach. It is the intention of the movie. It is the end game. This is earned. But with that being said, like, come on. You know who won. You know who has the best dance party ending. We can start it. Number 1.
I think I feel a song coming on.
It was obvious from the start this one was probably gonna win. The dance party ending is everything Shrek stands for. Immediately after the death of Farquaad, Shrek and Fiona have a wedding at the swamp. They head out, go on their own to quest somewhere. Why would you leave their swamp? Where are they going? I guess a honeymoon? I don't know. Everyone else is having a good time. All the fairy tale creatures, all the humans, even Gingy slipped on his dancing cookie shoes, celebrating the death of this short guy who was kind of a dick and he removed Gingy's limbs. Believer by Smash Mouth plays as the closing of this story. It matches with the brash anti-fairy tale intention of Shrek. It correlates with the opener of All-Star pretty well, and ultimately, it is a banger. Everyone here is having a good time. They dance, they party. The movie is sure as hell ending. Like, there is so much to love here, more than any other movie on here, and there's a ton of little visual bits that I just find myself catching every time. Like how Farquaad's executioner is pushing this one thingy, I don't know what it's called or any of that, or how the dwarves are pretending to be important by playing an air guitar. This is not only one of the best dance party endings, but also one of the most important, being the one that led to a whole trope that has yet to overcome the founding father of it. Yet there are actually some better ones. Jojo Rabbit and Another Round, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, they have great ones, they are interchangeable. I don't know, there might be a better dance party ending out there. They are a trope that is effective at points, and I like seeing them when they work. And I believe that is the end of this ranking. Number 0, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Wonderful opener, good way to return to the universe of Shrek, encapsulates the fun of Puss, sets a tone, catchy song. We have a winner. Congratulations, Bloody Boobs. You have the greatest dance party ending of all time. The first time I saw this movie, I found out my childhood dog was getting put down mid-movie, but the experience was so good it temporarily withheld my grief. Okay, now we're done. This is a complicated, cheesy trope that has been done to death, memed to death, but it is iconic for how consistent it is. I love when they show up as much as when they don't show up. It tells you a lot about the story, being told the intention behind the story, especially when it just gets chucked in there as a way for a baby movie to have a happy ending. But it's fun. And gang, that's all the dance party endings I can come up with in Dreamworks. Feel free to discuss in the comments. I'll try to talk to some of you fellas and disagree if possible. Please feel free to subscribe and check out my other content if you haven't. I don't really know what else to say, but yeah, feel free to click off now. Bye. Okay, now that all the casual people are gone, I gotta let you know that I rigged this one. Shrek was not actually number 1. Dogman was actually number 1, but don't tell anyone. I'll get in trouble if it beats Shrek. It's just a really good ending. Don't tell anyone. They'll get mad. They'll kill me. They'll find me. They'll find me.